Good day! Here are the stories for the Manila Times for Monday, March 7, 2022. The worst of the COVID-19 pandemic may be over for now, but the coming elections in May could trigger new risks, an Octa Research senior fellow said on Sunday. Dr. Guido David said in an interview with Teleradio that things can still change and nothing is guaranteed at the moment. But even if the country is at risk, it remains at zero to low risk. David advised the public to get their booster dose against COVID-19 since waning immunity could also pose a risk. Health authorities have warned that the crowds attending campaign rallies could spark another uptrend in cases, and David agreed. He said based on historical patterns, the country could again be vulnerable to a COVID-19 surge by April or May, around 3 months after the Omicron spike in January, which was helped along by the easing of health protocols during the Christmas season. Legazpi City Mayor Noel Rosal vowed to improve the health programs and the tourism industry of Albay if elected governor of the province. In an interview on the Manila Times Lights Camera Boto that aired on Sunday, Rosal lamented the failure of the Albay provincial government to provide better healthcare despite the fact that the province has a budget of 3.6 billion pesos. He said there are many tourist resorts at the foot of the world-famous Mount Mayon that can rival those in other provinces. There is also the need to further develop the countryside, where many potentials for tourism remained untapped, Rosal said. He said the Albay tourism industry is raring to go after years of inactivity during the COVID-19 pandemic. As a matter of fact, he said, many of the hotel owners in the province have renovated their establishments despite having earned no income for a long time. The Philippine Army and the U.S. Army Pacific have launched a 20-day training exercise in Nueva Ecija to improve their capacity to work together. The Salaknib exercise opened last March 5 at the 1st Brigade Combat Team Headquarters in Fort Magsaysay. Salaknib, which means shield in Ilocano, is an annual bilateral combined exercise that aims to enhance the defense readiness of Filipino and American troops by developing tactical interoperability. The 2022 edition focuses on the capability development of 1BCT, the Army's primary combined arms, and the Rapid Deployment Unit. Vice President Maria Leonor Leni Robredo on Sunday said she supports the Philippine government's position to back the international community in condemning Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The Philippines has joined over 100 United Nations member states in voting in favor of the UN General Assembly resolution demanding Russia's unconditional withdrawal of its military forces from Ukraine. The Philippines expressed explicit condemnation of the invasion. The presidential candidate said she was grateful to public servants, including diplomats, who were working to secure the safety of Filipinos who are still in Ukraine. Many of the 380 Filipinos in Ukraine have been evacuated to neighboring countries, and some of them have been repatriated. Senator Emmanuel Manny Pacquiao has asked the Commission on Elections to reconsider its plan to give advanced topics and questions to candidates in the forthcoming presidential debates. He said debates are meant to provide the people an informed choice about their candidates, the quality of their leadership, and their style of governance. In a statement, he reminded the COMELEC that its mandate is not only to ensure an honest and clean election, but also to provide the electorate the avenue to make the right decision. Over to business. Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Governor Benjamin Diokno said the country's current 12 trillion peso public debt is still manageable. The Bureau of Treasury earlier reported that public debt ballooned to 12.03 trillion pesos in January to 11.72 trillion pesos in December. Domestic debt increased by 2.4% to 8.36 trillion pesos by the end of January from 8.17 trillion pesos at the end of December 2021. While external debt went up by 2.9% to 3.66 trillion pesos from 3.55 trillion pesos a month earlier. Diokno explained that while the debt-to-GDP ratio rose to 61% from 39.6% before the pandemic, by international comparison, this current level is still manageable. In sports, Filipino Olympian pole vaulter Ernest John Obiane's rift with his mother national sports association, the Philippine Athletics Track and Field Association, might have been a burden for him, but he keeps soaring anyway. And soar he did as he jumped to a new national record and a season-best 5.91 meters at the Perche Elite Tour in France on Sunday Philippine time. In the process, Obiana bagged the silver medal in the tournament to add to the 2 gold he won for ruling the Orland Cup on February 12 and won in the Orland Copernicus Cup on February 23. Obiana needed just one attempt to jump 5.91 meters, breaking the previous national indoor record of 5.86 he himself set last year. Rigoberto Tiglao and Father Ranilio Aquino are today's front page columnists. Tiglao begins a series of denying human rights violations under martial law. while Father Aquino gives a scorecard on the delivery of face-to-face classes. Today's editorial believes the oil price stabilization fund has failed and better options exist. Read the full version on the paper's opinion section or listen to the voice of the Times. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and keep up with the Times. On behalf of the Manila Times, this is Eric John Seco reporting. Have a safe week ahead.